Welcome to episode 3 of the Colossus Open Tipping Update Show. That name's just too long, isn't it? I don't know what I'm saying. And before I forget, we've had a few complaints.
Hamish.
I'm stepping up now, so thank you. It's a good view from up here. Grabba, 26.1. It's done. It's in the books. The scoreboard is locked. I'm so excited to jump straight into some stats. But before we do, let's talk about our sign-ups. 132 sign-ups for Colossus, which is good for 5th place in Oceania. I was pretty close with my prediction.
I think you predicted 130 in our first show. So
I said mid-130s.
Yep, blew my 111 out of the water, so which is good thing.
Well done, everyone. That's awesome numbers. I'm so proud of you all, and can't wait to see 26.2 and what we've got in store for the rest of the Open. Let's talk about the best in the world. Yeah. Obviously, for most of us, 26.1 was an AMRAP, get as much done as you can within that 12 minutes. There were 50 men worldwide that finished all of the reps. What was it, 354? 354, I think?
A lot.
A lot of reps, way too many wall balls. And there was 106 women that finished it. Pretty impressive, those top guys.
Very impressive.
Some very fast movers, and even people that didn't break the wall ball at all, and even held on to the wall ball the entire time from the set of 40 wall balls, step overs, 66, step overs, 40 more, all without putting the ball down, without the ball touching the ground. That's amazing.
Yep. Is this the fewest to ever finish it, do you think? One of the toughest time caps for the elites?
Definitely one of the toughest time caps that I can remember. We'd have to have a look.
Yep.
Talk to us, Grabba. The bit of data to get us underway with successful tippers so far and some not so successful tippers.
Yes, it's good. We've just been talking about the head-to-head so far, but now we can actually talk about the tippers and how they've been going week one into it. So obviously the tipping is for the overall Open, but I like the little insights after week one. So 22 matchups, including the Brownie Brooksy one, and 16 right for 2 people. So Ange Barrett and Ruth Whelan both with 16 tips out of the 22 rights. Pretty good week. But who they tipped was very different. A mix of a couple of the same, but mostly they got Ange got one right, Ruth got it wrong, and it was the other way around. So 15 tips. Matt Conlon, Ewan Davey, Jordan Flanagan, Nina, Yarni, Nick Wazorski, and Shane Miller with 15 tips.
And what about the other end of the spectrum, Grabba? Who's not been as successful with their tips so far?
The other 5 tips is holding everyone up is Renee Lowe.
Renee Lowe's got 5 correct.
5.
And who else?
And 6 for Yenda, who we were talking previously about going for the underdogs. So
not paying off for him yet, but still a lot to
week
happen.
One.
Yeah, a lot can happen still. All right, let's jump into some of the head-to-head matchups and how people have gone in week one.
Yeah.
What I'm going to talk about is the overall position, which, considering we've only had one workout, is just your actual place within that workout. Obviously, as we go through the weeks, you'll get more and more points depending on your finishes in each workout. But given we're just one deep so far, the numbers are raw. So Loz takes the win in the Loz versus Jess rivalry. 18,000 points for Loz. 40,000 for Jess.
So Jess was saying she's a bit of sickness and things in week one, so I don't know if that's excuses or she's going to come good in week 2.
I think she'll be all right. She's been practicing those muscle-ups.
Yep.
I think there's a lot to come from Jess. Jim Ryan versus Tim Sumpton. Jim Ryan takes a big win in the rivalry wave for week 1, 29,000th place for Jim Ryan, and Tim Sumpton around 36,000. 9 reps, Jim got the victory by. And just remember we spoke about Tim's got 75% of the tips.
Yes.
So there's a bit of work for Sumpton to do, and you'd have to be feeling a bit of pressure after week 1. My favourite, Trent versus Nathan. Trent with an excellent performance, 6,300th spot roughly, and Nathan about 33,000th. So Nathan's got a lot of work to do, and I'm liking Trent as a bit of this Mr. Consistent lately.
Yes.
Almost a bit of a Tim Sumpton Jr. I think he's getting a bit of that reputation. Very consistent. But just looking at the last year's performances, Trent was averaging about 16,000 points per workout. And Nath is definitely capable of having some home runs if we get some big gymnastics workouts or even a bit more of an engine test. I think this week was more of a leg endurance test.
Yep.
I think Nathan's certainly capable of some home runs. So definitely not over, but a pretty big points gap already.
Yeah. I will say this is a I feel it's a bit of an odd workout,
Yeah.
an odd open workout, so plenty to come back from. But in a 3-week open, you're ahead in week 1, you're looking pretty good.
Erin versus Ellis. And Erin did not disappoint, did she? She's beat Ellis by 52 reps. She's currently on 24,000 points, and Ellis is around 83,000. Come on, Ellis. We want that underdog story.
Our lead underdog.
We want that underdog story. Gisela versus Moz. Gisela with 59,000 points, Moz with 87,000 points. I didn't see this one go down, but I would have liked to be at Kingston to kind of see what the dynamic was here. I don't know if they went side by side. I don't know if they judged each other. Was it a friendly affair or was it a bit of a family feud?
This is one where the male versus female. So Moz has had more reps than Gisela, but she's come out on top on the placing. So maybe, there's a bit of disappointment afterwards. You think you've lost, but then the results start to come through when you see, and Gisela goes, oh, I've got the win. So good one on those.
Big performance from Brady this week. Coming through, he's got 77,000 points, and Jacob is just behind with 81,000. Just 6 reps between them. And Jacob's got to pull his finger out now because he's got 60% of the tips. So I want to see red hot week 2 from Jaco.
Definitely in class. They're having their own little rivalries in class now. So definitely ready for Saturday.
Maybe my favourite talking point of the week is Hannah, Jess and Leanna. Jess takes the showcase on Saturday morning, live audience, huge performance.
I come back over Hannah during the workout.
Exactly. Leanna comes in on Monday and puts up an excellent score, the best female score that we got this week, which was 276 reps. So big shout out for Leanna. She took the victory in that matchup, but also the female overall victory.
Yep.
But then Hannah comes back in Tuesday, does the redo, beats Jess, and now poor old Jess is coming last in the rivalry after what was an amazing performance on Saturday. It's what happens in the Open, isn't it? We've got the opportunity to do the workout a second time, and I got to feel for Jess a little bit on this one.
Definitely, but as you say, that's the Open. So there's been a bit of comments about, does a redo count for the rivalry? And it does. It's open finish. So if you want to have make sure of it, second effort Tuesday.
That's right, and great effort to all those girls. That was some really good performances this week. Kate versus Holly. This is a close one, and these guys are going to be going head-to-head in the rivalry wave this week down at Kingston, so make sure you get down there to cheer these guys on. Kate about 5,000 points behind. We did a bit of an adjustment based on the amount of people in each of these divisions, and we've got Kate at 55,000th place, Holly's at about 50,000th.
Yeah, so about 100,000 women in the Open women, and then there was 1,000 in Holly's division, the teen girls 14-15. So we just basically factored Holly's score to match what it would be in the women's. So a close one. Yeah,
really close. Big performance from Caitlin this week. She's sitting in 10,000th place. Alicia in 25,000th place. Anything's possible here still. I definitely think Alicia can have some home runs. We see that sort of cardio test, get some burpees in there. I still think that matchup's very much alive.
I agree. The workout could send it either way.
Yep. Ed versus Curtis. Curtis by 1 rep in this matchup. Again, this is one I wish I had been there to see. I don't know if they went head to head, but that would have been an absolutely epic battle. And again, anything's possible here in the Open. But awesome effort by those lads. Both about 74,000th.
Yep.
Only 662 spots between them.
Very close, but by that you think surprising that Ed was a 80% favourite in the tipping.
Yeah.
But as we say, week to week, workout to workout.
Curtis looking for a good upset.
Yeah.
Brody versus Loz. Brody with 18,000 points, Loz with 23,000 points. 24 reps separated them, and Loz on the back foot a bit here. Got some work to do, maybe a bit of pressure.
Yeah, we talked week 1 about Loz as one of my, considering as one of the slam dunk tips. So, hey, Brody, most improved when you're coming from a high base, most improved, you're in a very good position.
Let's see what week 2 brings. Yourself and Anna. Talk to me about this.
Yeah.
You got a gripe with this one, don't you?
This was a side-by-side in the rivalry showcase, and I'm feeling good. As I said, halfway through the workout, I'm maybe half a round ahead of Anna. Ahead by...
You got it by 12 reps?
Yeah, I've beat her by 12 reps, and she's thousands of places ahead of me on the leaderboard.
So Anna with 38,000 points, and yourself, Grab, you got about 51,000.
Yeah,
so you thought you were smoking through. Finished the workout, all celebrations.
Yes. Looked at it afterwards, and I would have needed another 15 reps to match it for the placing. So, hey, maybe I should have done that redo.
Maybe you should have gone that Monday redo. Hannah versus Juliet, which is another one we're going to see in the rivalry wave this week at Kingston. So I'm excited to see them go head to head. Pretty close. Hannah with 23,000 points and Juliet with 29,000. There was just 10 reps between them.
Yep.
I think they were here doing it side by side.
They were here side by side. It was very exciting.
Yeah, that's good. The Joneses. Now this looked exciting. I was watching this on the live replay. Toby takes the victory this week. He's got 37,000 points. Lockie with 40,000 and Luke with 47,000. And I was chatting to Luke after. He said he had a bit of a game plan. He wanted to come home strong. Left his run a little bit late. I think the boys were dying off a bit.
Yeah.
He was coming through, but maybe didn't leave himself enough time to get there.
I think he was burnt from the last Masters League workout where it finished with warballs for us.
And you came through and took the victory off him.
So he was coming in cautious, but obviously a bit too cautious.
Yeah. A very exciting workout from John and Brad this week. They both were in on Tuesday for a last minute attempt.
Yes.
Brad not in the best condition. Come back from Japan feeling a bit under the weather. John got the victory this week. He's got 88,000 points and Brad's about 92,000 points. But I watched them both do it. Really great movement quality from both those lads, and it was a good watch.
When you're 4,000 points difference in week one, when you're in the 80s or 90s, it's nothing.
Yeah, I think John would have liked to put a bit more space on him, to be honest, because he was coughing his lungs up and he wasn't looking that crash hot. Myself and Dylan, I'm on 2,800 points. Dylan's on 9,000. I did feel confident to beat Dylan. It wasn't his best performance.
Yes.
But he's got many performances in the Open that are top 500 or 600 positions. I feel like I got a nice lead, but I'm definitely not counting my chickens. Anything's possible still, that's for sure. Jake, big performance this week. He's on 63,000 points, Jed on 94,000 points. These boys are also going to be going head-to-head in the rivalry wave down at Kingston, so I'm looking forward to seeing them go at it. Hopefully we see some barbells.
Yeah.
Let's see who can sling some barbells around. Yeah. Maddie and Shez. Maddie with 68,000 points. Sherry Ann's got 64,000 points. And I got to say, it was a really commendable effort from Maddie. She also, like Brad, was feeling pretty under the weather.
Yes.
Looked like on Monday she wasn't even going to be able to log a score, but managed to get some recovery done, came in Tuesday morning, did the best she could, and she's put up a pretty respectable score. So shout out to Maddie, it's a great effort.
Beautiful, boy.
They're also going to be in the rivalry wave this week, so keep an eye out for them. This might be one of the biggest talking points as well. Bigger versus Flanagan. Flanagan takes a huge victory in the showcase wave, massive performance. It's always harder when the people are there watching, the pressure's on, you're looking down the line and seeing all the best athletes head to head. Flanagan with 3,600 points, Bigger with 12,000. Can he claw it back, do you think, Grabba? What's your first thought?
We talked about thousands being not much of a difference. When we're at this end of the leaderboard, 9,000 is a lot. Yep. So I reckon Bigger's going to need 2 wheelhouse workouts to call
two
this
home
one
runs.
back.
Looking again at some scores from last year, Flanagan's usually averaging about 9,500 points per workout.
Yep.
So a phenomenal finish for him here in this workout. Bigger's normally averaging about 4,500 points. So look, anything's possible still.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows you that over 2 weeks that difference is going to be 9,000. That's what the difference is now. So it could come back very close.
Definitely. Charlotte versus Kim, they're going to be in the rivalry wave. I can't say it anymore. Rivalry wave. They're going to be down at Kingston on the weekend, so I'm looking forward to seeing them go head to head. We spoke about them having a very opposing skill sets, so it's exciting to see what the workout's going to be. Charlotte's got 61,000 points, and she's just behind Kim. Kim's got 53,000 points. Mark and Mike, very close. We talked about them being...
These guys are close on everything.
They're close on everything.
Perfect matchup.
They just had 6 reps separating them, and at their position on the leaderboard, that looks like just under 3,000 spots. So Nothing. Exactly. It's all square essentially. Mike's got 89,000 points. He took the victory this week. Mark's got 92,000 points. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. You've been sitting here politely, chiming in occasionally. Let's talk stats. What do you got for us?
Beautiful. Well, Hamish, you're going through each one individually, but when we look at all the results together, there's some really good insights we can get from that. So, one we've got here is the predictability index. So that's looking at how much of a favourite were they with the most tips, and then how is that lining up with how the performance was. So we can see it right up in the top right corner. The names don't even go on the sheet. It's that far up. There is Erin over Ellis. So that's a great one for the tippers because Erin was a clear favourite and she's got a big lead.
And she's had a great performance, exactly.
Yeah. But another one, not so much good for the tippers, is that Kieran and Jordan matchup where Kieran was a big favourite, over 80% of the vote. But it's a close one, within 10,000.
The members at Kingston aren't going to be able to look at Kieran this week. He had 95% of all the votes, and he's got a lot of work to do.
And some other ones there that are looking good for the tippers are Jake Breen, Lauren Ryan, Gisela. They're all who are strong favourites with strong leads. But everything else, it could go either way, I think, with 2 more weeks to go. We've got 14 matchups where it's within 10,000 points either way, and for the vast majority of those, that's really close.
Yep.
Righto, and the next one I've got is a chart here showing how the male scores lined up against the female scores overlaid. So what was your 26.1 rep count versus where'd you finish on the leaderboard? And this one shows that overall the males had to do more reps to have the same finishing position as the females did. So I think there's a lot of that's in the sign-up numbers. So 125,000 males signing up, 105,000 women. So there's a 20,000 person difference. That has a big effect on the leaderboard.
And the displacement of those numbers. Where are the extra 25,000 males? Are they in that sort of middle range? Are they in the top end? I suppose that plays into it.
Yeah, and we're talking about, did the workout have an effect? But I don't think it did. You know, the 9-foot target or the 20-inch box or anything like that. But it doesn't seem like that made too much of a difference.
It obviously looks like it makes a difference for those elite guys.
Yes,
where
the
faster times and more people are completing the workout. A little bit less time with the med ball in the air, bit faster cycle rate getting over the box. But I think for the everyday punter, it's much of a muchness, really.
Agree. So this is really good. We touched on these ones in the head-to-head matchups where, Gisela and Moz, where Moz has done more reps, Gisela's finished ahead on the points, and the same with myself and Anna. You know, I've done the dozen more reps, but she's ahead on the placings. And the other one we had the eye on was the Brodie and Coach Loz. Brodie's done enough reps to stay in front on the placings. So that's a big win for Brodie
Massive
this week. So looking at this, you can see that, and Anna on that finishing position, she's equivalent to finish to what a Toby Jones or Tim Sumpton did on the weekend. So that's 26. They had 26 more reps. So a difference there. And then Gisela is about equivalent to Jake Breen, and it's 36 more reps. So really interesting, depending on where you are in the workout. You might have to do a lot of more, another whole round of wall balls.
And I think as well, it speaks to the next few weeks. If you're ahead of your rival, don't slow down and take the victory.
Yes. Yep.
You got to keep moving through, because you might be in a deficit to make up from the week before, or if you're in one of those male-female rivalries, you don't know how that leaderboard's going to stack up. So if you are in the lead, don't take the foot off the gas. Keep it going.
100%. We not just the male-female thing. The point. We said it week 1. The point spread matters.
You want to put as much distance between you and your partner as you can. And
so the last thing on here I really liked was to see how much a couple of reps makes a difference, but that changes where you are. So, you beat Fanning by about 5 reps. That's 1,000 spots difference that would have made. But in the middle of the field, that 5 reps for James Ryan to Nathan Ewell, that's worth 4,000 spots. So if you're in the middle of the field, if you're thinking a redo, it can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Last one there. Sorry, just final one to add in was that Maddie and Ches matchup. So we talked about 4,000 spots, and it was great effort by Maddie, but 27 rep difference. You look on here and it's nothing at this stage. It's absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I love your stats, Grabba. Well done. That's some really good insight. What do you think we've got for 26.2? What are your predictions?
It's going to be different. It's going to be, my tip is a barbell, bar gymnastics, and a rower. And my barbell tip is clean and jerks.
Yep. I think we're getting some form of clean as well. I'm with you on that. And I also think we're going to see some kind of progressive gymnastics. I also think we might see some progressive weight on the clean. I'd like to see a bit of back and forth, progressing the difficulty of the pull-up bar, progressing the weight of the cleans, something like that. And a note I've said to a lot of people today, when you're thinking about what you want 26.2 to be careful what you wish for. I've heard a lot of people tossing out the, I'd love some heavy barbells talk.
Yep.
You never get it for free.
Yeah.
If you want the heavy bar, you got to be able to do the other skills or get really out of breath to get there. So
I agree. It's not a strength piece in the gym. You are breathing heavy on the heavy bar.
Exactly. I think that's all from us.
Beautiful. We're into it. I like. We've got some
real data to talk about, and I'm absolutely so excited to see what we get tossed up for 26.2. So we look forward to talking to you about that very soon.